Hello students, good morning to all. Welcome to class 12 English lessons. Today I am going to brief you about the chapter The Enemy from the book Vistas. So let's start. Before, as usual, we begin the chapter, I would like to brief you about the author. The name of the author, this is the very thought-provoking story, The Enemy, right? So the author is Pearl Sidney Strecker Buck. She was an American writer and novelist. She had a Chinese name, Sai Zhenzhou, as she spent her childhood in China. Being the daughter of missionaries, she was awarded the Pulitzer Prize in 1932 and the Nobel Prize in Literature in the year 1938. This is all about the author. Now, introduction of the story, The Enemy. This story is set during the Second World War between Japan and Japan and America, US, right? So this is the story, that is a thought-provoking story, we can say, which highlights how a doctor's duty as a trained medical practitioner towards a patient makes him rise above narrow national prejudices. So, a doctor was caught in a dilemma whether to cure the patient from the enemy country or to hand him over to the authority, right? So this is a very beautiful story, thought provoking, and how doctor takes wise decision towards the end. And let's see, that's what is very beautifully portrayed by the author. So a Japanese doctor finds an American POW. Here POW refers to prisoner of war, right, at his doorstep. So he is in a dilemma that being a doctor, should he save the wounded man, or being a Japanese, here we can say a true patriot, should he hand over the enemy to the army? So he was in confused state. What to do with this wounded man? Since the man was injured, wounded, that's why he's thinking what to do. So the writer introduces first of all the main character of the story. The main character of the story is Dr. Sadao Hockey. Here the characters are Dr. Sadao Hockey, his wife Hana, servants are there, one gardener, servant name is Yumi, gardener, as well as the prisoner of war, right? His name is Tom. Later on it is there in the textbook. We will come to know. And we can say that his two little kids. So these are the main characters of the story. So writer first of all introduces the main character, Dr. Sadao Hockey, his childhood as well as where his house was situated. So Dr. Sadao's house was situated on the coast of Japan. He had been living there since his childhood. The house had a low height and was made of stone, right? It was set upon the rocky beach which had a boundary line made with pine trees that were tilted towards one side. So one side the pine trees seems tilted and his house was built on a stone right near the beach. When Dr. Sadao was a child, he would climb up the pine trees. Now, how he would climb up? That on his visits to the South Seas, he would see men do so in order to get coconuts from the trees. Usually, men in the South Seas and all, how they climb the tree in order to get the coconut. Sadao, as a child, he has observed. So based on his observation, he also sometimes climbs. He would also climb up the pine trees. He would accompany his father to the islands of the South Seas often. His father would point towards the islands and would say that those were the stepping stones towards the future of Japan. Children, please note this sentence. It has a meaning, right? Father said it contains message. Dr. Sadao would question him childishly because he was only a child, right? 2-year old. Then he asked father. What did he ask? That where would they reach from those islands? So the father would reply that it was not known, as it dependent on the future. Dependent on the future means the future had no limits. It depended on mankind how it shaped its future. Depends, right? Dependent on the mankind, depends on the mankind. So here, father of Dr. Sadao gave him a very strong message in his childhood when he was a child. What message did he give? That no one can limit one's future. One's future is in one's hand. So please kindly note. So this is very important, and how Dr. Sadao was born and brought up, right, since childhood. Now, how the relation between Sadao and his father was, right? Sadao retained all the things that his father would tell him as a child. He was very much particular, right? He was very obedient. His father never played or joked with him. He was very, very serious, right? Very mature. So they shared, we can say, a mature relation, and his father underwent a lot of hardships to bring him up. Normally, parents take a lot of effort, right? They do a lot of hard work in order to bring their children. So here also, Dr. Sadao's father underwent a lot of hardships and struggles. Sadao knew that his father was concerned about his education. Sadao's father was very much particular about his education. He was sent to America at the age of 22. Who was he? Who is he here? Sadao. So Sadao at the age of 22 was sent to America for to study surgery and medicine. And he returned at the age of 30. So at the age of 22 to age of 30, he was in America. See here, the question is America. So he knows the people of America. He must have gone through, right, the experiences of the people when during his stay in America for 8 years. Before dying, Sadao's father saw Sadao become famous not only as a surgeon but also as a scientist. Sadao was very clever. That's why he was sent to America for surgery and medicine. And before his father's death, father had seen him as a famous surgeon as well as scientist. And he was specialized in Sadao was on his way to discover a treatment for wounds which would make them absolutely clean. So he had developed, we can say, creativity or art or skilled, right? Professionalized in cleaning the wound without leaving any mark. That was his specialists in that. So he was not sent abroad with the armed forces as a doctor. So normally those time few along with the army, doctors also used to go, right, accompany them. So Dr. Sadao, as he was very famous there in Japan, but he was supposed to go along with the armed forces to America, abroad, maybe other countries. But Dr. Sadao was not sent. The reason behind this is because he was retained in Japan because the old general of the Japan was suffering from an ailment. Ailment here means disease, right? Such kind of disease which needed to be operated upon in case of an emergency. So old general may need Dr. Sadao in any case because he was suffering from some disease, right? So he has to operate, and Dr. Sadao can only do that. That's why Dr. Sadao was not sent to abroad along with the armed forces. This question comes many times in the paper for 2 marks. So please kindly note this, children. Now, then the writer proceeded ahead with regard to the scene outside Sadao's house. How was the scene outside Sadao's house? So the writer describes here the scene outside Dr. Sadao's house. As the days were unusually warm and the sea waves were cold, the nights became foggy, right? And Dr. Sadao saw the boundary of a nearby island became invisible gradually. Foggy time, everything seems invisible, unclear, right? As it got covered in the mist. Slowly, the mist was coming closer to him. And soon there would be mist all around his house, and at that time he would go back into the house to his wife Hannah, who was waiting for him along with their two children. So Dr. Sada was standing outside his the corridor, means a house veranda we can say, and he was just watching the view, right? So all around the house is fog and mist, and it seems that the fog is approaching his house, and slowly his house was entirely enveloped by the fog, and then he would go inside the house and with his wife Hannah. Now, how did Sadao and Hannah meet? Right, this is their stories also writer has portrayed here. So writer said they had met in America. You see, Sadao knew that his father would marry him to a Japanese girl only, and so he ensured this before falling in love with her. So when Sadao went America during their 8 years at the age of 22, right, for his for studies in medicine and surgery, that time Hannah also afterwards she joined there. So they both met there, but Sadao's father was very, very particular and he was very strict, right? And Sadao knew this. So before falling in love with Hannah, Sadao made it very sure that she also belonged to a Japanese girl, right? Sadao considered himself to be lucky to have accidentally met her at an American professor's house. So where did they meet? They met at American professor's house. He wondered that had he not met her, he would not have got a wife all his life. That was his thinking, right? He was wondering. He thought that the professor and his wife were kind as they were keen to help foreign students. So when during their stay in America, the professor and his wife, right, he thinks that they are very, very kind to the foreign students because they are from Japan. So he was glad that they had accepted this kindness and went to their house because it was there that he had met Hannah. Knowing to this that he had met Hannah at the professor's house, he went there. Sadao would often tell Hannah that it was a mere coincidence that he went to the professor's house that night, as the rooms in his house were small. Right? Why did he go there? He also wanted maybe there as a PG, right? So the food was not good. The professor's wife was very talkative. If he had not gone there that night, he would not have met Hannah. So at that time, Hannah was a new student. So Sadao had thought that he would love her if at all it would be possible for him. Here it would be possible for him. It's just that before he would first make it sure that she also belonged to Japan or she is a Japanese girl. So how their life was good going, right? Sadao and Hannah loved each other even after having two children. So like that he confirmed that I have not added. You can read in the text. Confirmed after confirming when they returned to Japan, it was arranged marriage and Sadao's father got them married. They engaged and they got married as per the Japanese custom. After many years of marriage, they had Sadao and Hannah loved each other even after having two children, we can say after many years of marriage. They had not married in a haste in America. Rather, they returned to Japan, sought permission from their parents, and then got married in a traditional Japanese ceremony. So they would have married there in America itself, but they did not do so. They came to Japan, they took permission from their parents, right? And then afterward, as per the custom, rituals, and traditions, they got married. They had discussed all the details before the wedding. They were very happy with each other. Hannah rested her cheek against Sadao's arm with affection. So they were just we can say here these two paragraphs what I have discussed, they are simply reminiscing their past, right? Beautiful days, because it was America and was a World War time. He was not sent along with the other armed forces to the abroad, and they just simply remembering the beautiful moments of the past and standing in the veranda. Now, when they were standing in the veranda, what did they notice? Right? Suddenly they noticed something. Here the story begins, children. Okay, please pay attention. They noticed a wounded man. So that moment they saw a figure appear out of the mist. It appeared black in color due to the mist in the air. The outline of a man's body was visible in the mist, only that we can see that some creature is crawling, right? That way they can just view, because it was misty, foggy, so nothing was clear. He walked unsteadily with his arms above the head. He was walking unsteadily, right? Not properly. It was an indication that he was a prisoner, as if he had escaped from somewhere. The man walked a few steps and then disappeared in the mist. Upon seeing the figure, Hana reacted by asking that who was that? So it doesn't seem like a man walking, it seems like one creature crawling, right, towards the seaside. She took her arm out of Sadao's arm and both of them bent forward over the railing of the veranda to have a closer look at the man. They were trying to identify, right, who is the man. They saw him again. He was crawling on his hands and knees. Then he fell on his face and kept on lying there. Probably he had fainted. Maybe he was fainted, he was unconscious. With much difficulty, he could walk till there, and then suddenly he got fainted. So, how was the condition of this wounded man? As the Japanese couple saw the man, they realized that he was badly injured. He was badly wounded. The sand on which he lay had blood stains on one side, which indicated that he was wounded. Right? Even the sand also was completely soaked in blood. Sadao said that the man was wounded. He approached the man who lay motionless with his face buried in the sand. Right? Motionless without any movement. Right? He was still. He was, we can say, fainted. He was unconscious state. An old cap hung on his head. It was soaked with the seawater. His dress was also wet and torn. Sadao turned the man's head. As they saw the face, Hana spoke confidentially, right, with confidence, that he was a white and American. They could identify with the help of the face, white face. So Hana immediately spoke that he was very confident, right, that this man is American. So American men become their enemy. That's why it is in the beginning I have told you, an enemy, we can say, washed ashore near their doorstep. So the wounded man was American man. The injured man was an American they could identify. As his cap fell off, they saw his wet, yellow-colored hair, which had not been cut for a long time. He was young. His face had such marks which indicated that he had been tortured. He had a rough, unkempt, yellow-colored beard. Right? Even the beard also yellowish. Fine. A face have such marks. Okay. So that everything, the appearance of this wounded man indicates that he was tortured. As he had fainted, he did not know of the presence of Sadao and Hana because he was motionless. He was still. He was fainted. He was unconscious. He did not observe, or he did not feel the presence of Hana and Sadao. So now here the dilemma. Doctor was in a dilemma. Once they could till here they could simply identify that the man was an American, but they are not sure that from which part, or whether the man is a prisoner, or whether the man has escaped. The man could be a fisherman. They were not sure of it. So Sadao was reminded that the man was wounded as he had seen blood stains on the sand. As he was a doctor, he moved his trained fingers around the man's back to search for the wound. It is instinct, you can say doctor's first job, to search, right, where is the wound. He felt blood oozing out of a wound in the lower part of his back. It was a gunshot. The man had been injured in a few days ago. It was not a fresh injury. Maybe a few days ago he got injured with a gunshot, and he had not got any medical help to treat the wound, as he had himself used some black colored powdery substance on it. He himself had put something on that wound in order to cure. He had not got any medical help or any primary treatment. The sharp rocks on the shore had pierced it, and so it was bleeding. So when he was just crawling and coming, right? So the sharp rocks, it got to hit in the wound, and again it started bleeding. So now doctor was in a dilemma. Fine. So the Sadao answered to himself. Now this, please make point that here Sadao is talking to himself and said that the best thing was to put the man back into the sea. Why? Because the man was from the enemy country. Fine. As the bleeding stopped, he stood up and removed the dust from his hands. Hana supported his opinion but looked intently at the man as he lay still. Right? First of all, Sadao was talking to himself, thinking himself it is better to put him back into the sea. Hana also was looked very intently, and since the man, she did not answer because the man was motionless. Sadao said that if they gave him shelter, they would be arrested for sheltering an enemy. And if they handed him over to the Japanese army as a prisoner, then he would die in the prison. So there are two choices before Sadao. If he give shelter to this man, what would happen? Sadao would be arrested, right? Because for sheltering an enemy in his house. And if he hand him over this man to the prison or to the authority, then what they will do? He would be put in the prison and he would die. Fine. Then, as he thought that both the options were not favorable, that means he did not want this man to die. Fine. And he did not want this man to die in the prison, as well as he did not want himself to get arrested. Fine. So the best option was to put him back into the sea. This was his primary thought, right? Beginning. Hana added that the kindest act for them was to put him back into the sea. Both of them did not move ahead to do so. They talked with regard to this. The thought came to Sadao's mind, right? But they did not dare to do so. Fine. Rather, they stared at the motionless figure with dislike. Why dislike? Because the man was from enemy country. They disliked him because he was an enemy and American. So here Hana was very inquisitive. She was very curious, right? As she asked about the man's identity. Sadao replied that he appeared to be an American. This much only he knew. He picked up the torn cap and read the words written on it, which were slightly visible. He said that the man was a sailor from an American warship and read out the words US Navy written on the cap. They concluded that the man had been taken into captivity during the war. So this man was caught during war, right? He was kept in the prison. Fine. So he was a prisoner. Now Sadao and Hana discussed that the man had tried to escape from the prison and had been shot in the back. So they were not able to gather the courage to throw him into the sea. Now you got it, the condition of the man after looking at the cap, after reading the slightly visible US Navy and all, they concluded in this way. This man was kept in the prison, he was captives, and he had tried to escape from the prison. Meanwhile, he was gunshot, and he was shot, and then he tried to escape from there. They were not able to gather the courage to throw him into the sea. Hana called upon Sadao with firmness. She asked him if he was ready to put him into the sea. Now Hana is asking Sadao, are you ready to put him back into the sea? Sadao told her that he was able to do so and asked that did Hana have the courage for it? First Hana is asking Sadao, right? Then Sadao further questioned that, okay, if I do, are you ready? Do you have the courage? Do you dare to put him back into the sea? Hana replied in the negative and added that if he could not do it by himself, then she had to help him. If Sadao did not dare to throw this man into the sea again, means Hana had to help, right? So now we can say that after this man was, they found this American prisoner of war in a dying state, we can say, right? Dying state. So now we can say that here the story highlights a doctor's duty. Now here, now we have to see that whether how the doctor is performing his duty as a trained medical practitioner towards this patient, right? So though this man was from an enemy country, now he is going to risk his honor, position, life, right? As well as of his wife and children by sheltering this prisoner into his house. So Sadao was reluctant in throwing the man into the sea. He reasoned that if the man was well, he would hand him over to the police without any hesitation. Fine. What reason he is giving himself, or we can say he is specifying his thought, right? We can say here. He added that he was not concerned about the man and considered him to be an enemy as he was an American. He commented that the injured man was a common man as his face looked as if he was a foolish person. He wanted to say that he was not bothered about the injured man, but his only concern was that he was wounded. See how he is like, no, giving the reason or reasoning himself, or in order to take the wise decision, his mind works in the positive direction, right? He knows that the man was from an American country, enemy country, prisoner of war. He should not give shelter to this man to his house, but at this juncture, what was his main concern? Not this man, or not the country, not the enemy, no caste, creed, and religion, but the wound. The man was wounded. So his primary service is to treat the wounded man. So Hana said that if he could throw him into the sea, then the second option was to carry him home. Now he could not throw him into the sea. So what was the second option? The second option left with them is only to carry him home. And Sadao was concerned that the servants would object as they would shelter an enemy, because at home they are not alone. Servant is there, servant Yumi is there, gardener is there. Okay, so gardener was, since Sadao's childhood, he has been working with this Dr. Sadao's home. So they may leave home, or they may further communicate to somewhere else, whatever it is, right? So that is also dangerous for them. So now, duty of the true doctor is shown in the chapter. Hana said that they would tell them, see what they have made the plan, right? They have first, they have decided. Now it is firm, their firm decision that they would shelter this man to their house because the man was wounded. Fine. So Hana said that they would tell them that they intended to hand him over to the police once he recovered. So first they give treatment to this man, and once he was recovered, then they would hand him over to the authority. She told him that they must do that. She added that they must consider their children's future and Sadao's position, because now Sadao has to risk his honor, his duty, his, we can say, the position, his life, everything. If they did not hand over a prisoner of war to the police, they would be in danger, right? Otherwise, they would be arrested. Sadao replied that certainly he would do so, and he did not think of doing anything else. So we have seen till here that they've got the dying man, wounded man, who was prisoner of war, POW in short we can write, and he was from America. And what was their final decision now? They would take this man to their house, they would give him proper treatment, and once the man would recover, then they would hand that man to the prisoner of war. But story is not over here. It's very beautiful and very interesting. So the remaining part of the summary I will discuss in the second part of the video. Fine. So this is the only one till here, 30 minutes. Okay. another half an hour we will take to the second part. Till then, please read the text. The text is very lengthy but very, very interesting, children. Very interesting. So you just read it, and then till here, first you listen to the video, then you read till here, then further we will see to the next lesson. Okay, till then, bye. God bless you, children.